Welcome to the Kentucky X-Files, Season 2, with your hosts Dennis Mays, Tyler Stewart, and Josh Gibbs. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, so you never miss an episode. Now, on to our show.
Down. For me, at first, I thought it was just a footage thing.
I thought it was a bear. You can tell the difference between like a small spindly leg creature and something with a larger foot. And it was big, whatever it was. It ran straight down at us and just stopped. And it was pitch black. Couldn't see it.
And most of these witnesses have come close to these scenes could have been killed.
It was beating on the side of the house. I didn't hit the side of the house as it went by.
Now, when it stood up, that's when I knew it was a strong
someone to have pure faith in a higher power at that moment, and nobody fucking did.
Welcome back, guys, to the Kentucky X-Files.
I don't think that one was even a bird. It was just like screaming.
I love how his mic automatically cuts out if it gets too loud.
Did it cut out?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if it cut out on the recording, but it might you had a definite delay in there.
So, here we are. We're on, we're doing the episode from home this week because too much stuff came up, as it's wont to do. So,
right.
But our, the invisible bone in the back of our necks called ethic will not allow us to not bring you folks another episode. So usually don't get that from us. You don't get the, hey guys, no episode this week. Too much stuff came up. We're more the guys that are like, okay, we've got 45 minutes in here. If we get rid of some sleep, we could probably do this. How much free time do we have? None? Okay, we're going to have to cut that out completely because it's starting to get in the way. Yeah. So here we are, and we got some interesting stuff today. Well, I'm excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how you guys are feeling.
I am.
I know that you said you wanted to get into some comments first before we actually get into the actual episode.
Yes. I wanted to catch up on these because I feel bad. The last couple episodes, we didn't, and it not because, we didn't want to, but we've been busy out there, guys. You guys don't know it, but behind the scenes, we're busy guys. We do a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This is the part where I start putting pressure on my co-host to show off some of that music that we're working on with the other project. You guys out there can help me with that by commenting. Show us, Rector.
Right.
All right, so yeah, we got a lot of comments and messages on the Facebook over the last couple weeks. I wanted to throw a little bit of love out here. So I want to do that real quick. Before I read these, I want to give a crazy big shout out to a couple guys I work with who seem to be enjoying the show a lot. One guy's name is Noah. You know who you are. Thank you, man. Every day he's very supportive. He loves the show. He talks about it. And the other guy's a new guy I just started working with named Chris. And he's been coming up to me and talking to me about some of the subjects on the show. I wanted to make sure I shouted those two guys out real quick. So, without further ado, here's some of the stuff we've got in. A guy named Michael Settles commented saying that The house that his grandma moved into is definitely haunted. They kept hearing glass break and pictures falling off the wall, but nothing has ever moved. They remodeled the house, and they found some really old hand-painted pictures of a little girl and a little boy between the walls. His mom still has one of the paintings of the little girl in the dress, and the eyes look like they're following you when you walk past it. Very interesting.
I hate those paintings.
I do too. Like, oh, they're terrible. Michael, if you listen to this, man, send us a picture of that painting. I'd love to see it. Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Another one here, Anthony Sullender. Says he's got a lot of encounter stuff he'd love to talk to us about, and we might be hooking up with him in the future to get him on the show. He says he's seen lights, things like that over the mountains. He thinks he's had some Bigfoot experiences. His wife seen a UFO when she was young. It's a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? He said that he's definitely got that like feeling of dread, you know, the goosebumps, all that. Pretty much, there's so much in his stuff that there's no way I could read the whole thing, but definitely you guys out there listening, stay tuned, because I'm already in the works of getting this guy on the show so we can hear his stories. So yeah, thank you, Anthony, for sending that in, and I can't wait to hear more about what you've experienced. What else we got here? Let's see here. Sorry here, there's a lot to there is a lot here. I don't know if you guys have hopped on here and looked at the comments on the Facebook, but it's a list.
Yeah, sometimes I can't see what people post, though. They'll just tell me somebody mentioned us in a comment, and I go to look for it, and it won't show me what it is.
If you go over to the page, you know, what thing, you can click Facebook comments up there where it shows like the inbox and all that, and it'll show you all of them. I had to, it took me a minute to figure it out. One guy here sent one in. I wanted to address this because we've gotten about 8 comments and messages about this very thing. A guy here says he wants to start ghost hunting and asked us if we needed a hard worker to let him know. Just so we're on the same page, I don't really consider us ghost hunters. I would think that you'd be able to find some people on our page that would be wanting to get into it, you know, with you. But as far as like us, I don't know, like if we would be able, like offering what you're looking for.
Right. We're more of a observatory.
Yeah. Like if something comes up and we get invited to go check it out, yeah, we'll go. But we don't personally like do a lot of ghost hunting, you know. So sorry for that, folks. I mean, I didn't want to give the wrong idea of our show, but you know. Let's see here. There's a guy here named Michael Settles said that up by where he lives in Kentucky, there's a cemetery up the road from where he lives, and he says that people have gotten pictures of spirits standing beside the gravestones, and some say they look like soldiers. So I would love to see those. If you could possibly get those over to us, that would be really fantastic. And I'm sure
why this, you know, the soldier thing is so popular.
I don't know. It's big in Maysville,
right? Like, and not just there. It's like big all over the United States. You know, any older cemetery in the U.S., you know, you always hear the stories of Revolutionary soldiers or Civil War soldiers. There's ghost stories in my family from Cynthiana, Kentucky, involving a Civil War soldier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard, being down in Maysville a couple weeks back, I heard a couple people talking about that because I don't know, you guys, some of you guys listening, you might be around here. There's a chance that you're going to run into a guy delivering beer who's going to be asking weird questions about the place. And that's what I've been doing.
Right.
I've been doing that everywhere I've been going. I've been asking them. One really interesting one that I'm trying to get our foot in the door about is the Maysville Dollar General, which was actually shut down because they had something unexpected and unexplained happening in the store at night when they left.
I mean, that's terrible, but it's also fantastic.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, my money was on, I was like, it's raccoons. It's got to be raccoons getting in the store. They said that almost everything down these 2 aisles was on the floor in the morning, right?
Right.
And it wasn't, like, it happens once, and they're like, well, maybe something got in here. But nothing's, like, opened. You know what I mean? Like it's not a food aisle. It's like a miscellaneous aisle. And all this stuff is just laying on the floor, and they're like, what the hell happened? So when they're checking their cameras and their video feeds, there's nothing. It's like 1 second the stuff's on the shelf, the next second it's on the floor. Right?
Nice.
I'm like, dude, it's got to be raccoons. And then they're like, well, raccoons would have opened everything.
Yeah, they've got thumbs.
Yeah.
Sort of. You know, they're
bastards in evolution.
Right. They'd be over there in the corner with the Dollar General generic chips trying to wash it in a sink or something, you know?
Yeah. Hell yeah. So, I don't know, man. I can't wait. I've made a couple of, I want to say, acquaintances at that Dollar General, and I'm trying to work on being able to go out there and bring the recorder and just record some of the first-hand accounts to play on the show, which I think it would be really really cool.
Absolutely.
Ray Suggs says that he saw Elvis at a bourbon tasting event.
Oh, I saw that comment. I love this guy.
Ray probably didn't think I was going to put this on. Ray, picture it didn't happen, bud. That's all I'm going to say there. Yep. Give me some pictures.
Hold on a second. Is it like he's saying that he saw him like recently? Is that what it?
I don't know. I mean, he's just saying he saw Elvis, so.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know what to believe, but there are so many, like, huge conspiracies on Elvis that he didn't die when he did. If anything, I feel like he has passed away since this, but a lot of people believe that he didn't die when he did. I think it was 42 that he died. And,
right.
He was 42, not 1942. But they said, because he had a lot of time, like, they even have documents saying that he worked with the FBI because since he was famous, he could get, infiltrate, big drug organizations because they're like, hey, he's a rock star.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that he went into witness protection after that. Because he was getting out of the limelight, too.
So are we thinking that this guy happened to catch Elvis out of...
If it was, like, I want to say years back. I am not saying that Elvis is still alive today.
So, okay, I've got a problem with it. And my problem is that Elvis was known to not really like alcohol that much.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's just plot hole.
Yeah, like he would drink very, very, very rarely. Apparently he was, because I thought I heard this before, and I looked it up, and sure as shit, he damn near gave himself alcohol poisoning on peach brandy, so he rarely drank.
Damn, I could see that, though. That'd probably really, really good.
Yeah, it would be really good until you almost gave yourself alcohol poisoning from it. Then I can't imagine what vomiting peach brandy would be like. Man, that's hard to say for some reason.
Peach brandy, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember if did I read this one, the Dunkin' Donuts guy?
No, I don't believe so.
I don't believe so.
Okay, so Ronald Bryson, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, says here, his words, not mine, I was working at a Dunkin' Donuts that my coworkers swore was haunted. I didn't believe it. I worked the bakery shift most of the time. You'd see stuff out of the corner of your eye, like disembodied legs with really nice old-fashioned shoes. One night, I was preparing to wash my icing bottles, which were basically ketchup bottles. I had several in the sink with no water yet. One of these bottles started vibrating and fell over for no logical reason. Later on after work, I was telling my ex-girlfriend about it. She told me I was full of shit and blah, blah, blah. Really classy girl. Sarcasm. She was the devil.
That's why she's an ex, right?
Anyway, we had several baby bottles in the sink, and out of nowhere, one of them starts vibrating and fell over. I said, I must have brought Frederick home with me. We called the ghost Fred. From then on, I believed in the paranormal. Pretty wild. You know, you don't really find a whole lot of you don't get a whole lot of Dunkin' Donuts hauntings.
That's the first one. It's very odd for Dunkin' Donuts, unless you could go down the route that it was the location was like something traumatic happened there, and the spirits are like, I guess you would say, locked to the land area, and they put a Dunkin' Donuts over it.
Yeah,
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I mean, it's obvious now. You know, like ghosts don't even want Krispy Kreme.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm agreeing with you right there. Krispy Kreme's. You've let yourself go, Krispy Kreme. I'm not afraid to say it.
Yep.
You've let yourself go. I know a guy
cancel us.
A guy at work I talked to said, you know, he goes, but doesn't that stuff only happen on like Native American burial grounds? And I was like, oh, you mean like the United States?
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, let's be realistic here. I mean, this is one big Native American burial ground. So, I don't know. Let's see.
That's the thing about nomadic tribes. They're not going to travel, 400 miles with a dead body to put him back where everybody else is buried. It's wherever you are,
Yeah. And we still stick to that. You know what I mean?
And really, most of them burned their dead, didn't they? There's only a handful of tribes that actually buried, if I'm recalling that correctly. I might not be. I'm sure somebody. See, that's the thing about the internet that's great, is if I say something wrong, I will be informed and I will learn.
Yeah, because I've heard something similar, but it was like it was the same, but the exact opposite. That like a handful burned them and the rest of them buried. I don't know. Somebody out there's gonna know though. I know. Oh God. Oh man, I lost my train of thought on that one. No.
My apologies.
No, you're good. You're good. There was a guy who was telling me something about this where there's a whole lore and possibly a cryptid involved with Native American burial mounds. You guys familiar with that one? The mound walkers or whatever?
No, that's a first for me.
Yeah, that's a really, really interesting one. Let me see if I can bring it up here. Pukwudgies, yeah. There's that, and then this one Tyler's gonna hate. Okay, is a Native American culture called the Spider Grandmother.
Oh God!
Right, and the so Carl Schunker, 1948. One of the most startling giant spider reports ever reported comes from Leesville in Louisiana, USA. According to William Sladen, it was here while walking northward along Highway 171 to church one cool night in 1948 that he, his wife, and their 3 young grandsons had spied a gigantic spider, hairy, black, and memorably described the size of a washtub, as it emerged from a ditch just ahead of them and crossed the road before disappearing into some brush on the other side. Not surprisingly, the family had never again walked on that particular route to church at nighttime.
Fake.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's fake. It's fake.
So,
it's not real.
Now,
it's not real.
This is the part that...
No, it's not real. No, it's not real.
You know, I'm going to help you out with this. This is the part that Tyler's really not going to like. Is that
it's not real. It's just not real.
About 6 years ago, my parents reported to me that while they were driving in their vehicle on their street that is not far from any of us, they saw a gigantic spider cross the street, and it scared the absolute shit out of both of them. And
it was. No,
I'm talking. It wasn't. No, it's not. I'm not saying it's like the size of a car or anything, but think of the size of a good size like cooking pan, right?
Yeah.
Just enormously big.
Nah.
Like ridiculous big. Like you could only imagine the size of the fangs this thing had, right?
Nah,
And
I get what you're doing now.
My dad literally slammed his brakes on because he thought it was a freaking squirrel. And that's like his words, not mine. He's like, I thought it was a squirrel. And he's like, saying. My mom goes, that's a effing spider. And he's like, no, it's not. Oh my God, it is. And they just sat there and watched it. And I thought, dude, this is crazy. This is nuts, right? So, Josh, ball is back in your court, buddy.
Oh God, that's good stuff.
Yeah. So that whole the giant spiders. I know Tyler hates this, but the giant spider thing is crazy. How many credible people actually have seen this shit?
I'm about to throw up.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's so terrible. Because
I need to go get a gun.
One time when I was young, my daughter was just a baby, and me and her were driving home. I picked her up from my wife's mom's house, right? And we were driving down Washington Street. You guys know where that's at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I had to slam my brakes on because a gigantic monitor lizard was walking across the street. And I'm sitting there staring at this well, you don't see that every day.
Right.
It was nuts, dude. I totally had that, there's these feelings you can only describe in French, right? Like the deja vu and then the frisson or whatever. I totally had that feeling. I was like, this isn't happening right now. This can't be happening right now. Am I really seeing this? And then later on, I rationalized it. I'm like, dude, somebody's pet probably got loose. Somebody's enormous monitor lizard got loose, and it's walking around, Alexandria, Kentucky.
Right. Dang it. Now I'm, looking around my room thinking that there's going to be
a fucking spider grandmother.
Oh, my God.
I totally derailed that whole thing, and I'm sorry. But, yeah, the mound walkers, the puckwudgies, that's a thing, and that's a really big thing in Native American culture, and they're apparently pretty nasty. You don't want to mess with them.
If you hear gunshots, it's just me shooting random shit in my room because I think it looks like a spider.
One thing I found very interesting was puckwudgies are supposed to look like goblins.
Yeah.
I think we wanted to talk about this. They're. I thought we talked about it a while ago. Yeah, they're little goblins. They're kind of hairy. They're very primitive, and they use poisonous arrows and stuff.
Yeah, we've talked about the puckwudgies because they look like little Vikings.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that would be the coolest cryptid.
It looks like a crossbreed of a goblin, but it has this it literally looks like long hair, spiky hair. It looks like it's a hedgehog. That's what I've seen some
Oh yeah. I remember seeing those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's a cool cryptid. That's pretty cool. In my opinion.
You won't think it's cool when you're freaking walking down the woods, and next you know, you have these toothpick-sized arrows stuck in you, and you start feeling a little woozy.
That's true.
Because you're like, why is this toothpick? Why did I get shoot by a toothpick?
3 darts is too much.
Too much.
I'm just saying, out of all the stuff, that's pretty cool.
That would be the thing. That would be the thing that gets me.
Yeah. Because if I saw little Viking dudes, come running up and they're trying to, kill me, I'm going to be like, dude, this is awesome.
Right.
This is
the big man.
Get him. We're going to eat him. I'd be like, wait, what? Hold up.
Whoa, what?
Let's not be hasty, fellas. I've got worms. Hell, they might like worms. That. Yeah, they might be like, dude, perfect. You're already seasoned.
Yeah, you're seasoned.
Be like, damn it. Yeah, puckwudgies. That's just pretty awesome.
I just think the name is just an odd name. Is that a Native American term?
I just think I don't know. To me it sounds like some dude's last name.
Puckwudgie?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that you guys are saying puck wedgie.
Puckwudgie.
It's pretty close.
It's like a hockey term. Somebody does like a slap shot and hits you in the butt and makes you get a wedgie.
Yeah, I can see it like
Puckwudgie.
Like, to me, I'm envisioning Josh at work, and he's like, Puckwudgie, bring that hammer up here. And there's just some dude, and he's like, okay, boss. And he comes running with it, you know? And he's like, God damn it, Puckwudgie. I don't know. That just sounds like a name, you know?
Right.
But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. I got an email here from Chris Byers, who sends in. He says, I just found your show, and as a native Kentuckian, I couldn't resist downloading a few episodes. Thank you for that, sir. My first was a season 2, episode 26, about the jellyfish-like UFOs above Murray, Kentucky. I live in Murray, Kentucky, and from what I've heard on the show, I believe I know the area that's being referenced. I have never heard anything about any of this, but I've always had an interest on whether we are alone or not. My question is, do you think that Angie and Chad would be opposed to me contacting them to see if I could come out and see these lights in person? Or at least in confirming the area so that I may be able to try to see them from the road? Thanks, Chris. I have already put Chris into contact with Angie. I don't know if they've hooked up yet or not. I don't want to speak for them, but they seem like the kind of people that want people to come and verify this and to see it for themselves. So I can't see them saying, no.
Right. I hope they do. I hope they, not to say no, but I hope they all get connected. How crazy would that be if a friendship that lasts forever stemmed out of listening to us?
That would be freaking awesome, man.
Because if you see something like that with somebody else, that's a bond, That's,
yeah.
You know what I mean? You're never going to forget seeing something like that with someone.
Right. I really do. I hope that, I hope something comes of it. Like you said, that would be really, really awesome. Especially, like you said, if it was a bond that was formed over listening to this little show, man, that'd be so cool.
Be amazing.
What's really neat about our little show, to me, especially lately, is that we have a huge secret that we're not allowed to talk about on the air.
Right.
Doesn't that make you guys excited?
I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know if it has to be a secret. We just assume that it needs to be a secret.
I'm assuming.
Well, I don't want to say anything until he does.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But have we said too much already?
I don't think so.
I think the fame has gone to our heads.
Yeah.
The fame has gone. It's changed us, guys. We're scheming. We've already begun scheming.
Yeah, we're clickbaiting.
We're clickbaiting. You guys out there being clickbaited so bad.
Hey, we got you good.
We got you good. You're not going to be able to resist. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. I'm sorry for jamming up so much of the episode here with that, but I just wanted to make sure we reached out and,
No matter what, these are our fans. We need to make sure that we talk to them as much as we possibly can. Because, hey, if they wasn't there, we'd just be
talking to ourselves.
Idiots. Yeah, we'd just be talking to ourselves. So
it would be interesting though, us three talking to each other about episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I just listened to our episode on Monday.
It really
me too.
changed my life.
God, it's weird. We were all there.
Yeah, we were all there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just nice, and I felt bad because been so busy, and with our other super secret thing, we didn't have a chance to do this last weekend to reach out to them, and because it's just so secret, so super secret, and it's so awesome.
I just love that you're just laying it on thick.
I really am. I just want to just marinate this,
how secret it is.
That super secret, awesome thing that I can't believe happened, and Tyler totally made it happen. And you guys out there are going to be mind blown. It's cool.
We were, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I think me and Josh were, talking about it for, 2 days afterwards. I can't believe Tyler pulled that off. That's amazing. I can't believe he did that. He made that happen. Who's he going to get next? He's going to get...
Dude, that was pure luck.
He's gonna
You're
he's gonna get some like. Oh, you know who you need to get? You need to get Rob Lowe.
Oh my God, yes.
You really need to get Tyler. You pulled like an amazing out of nowhere move with this last thing you did. You got to get Rob Lowe. He's like an actor, and he's
I know.
He's seen Bigfoot. Like he swears to God he's seen Bigfoot. So you gotta get him.
Do we feel like? Are you guys saying a little bit too much now?
Am I?
I don't know. Are we? Like, because it seems like
we might be. Let's talk. Let's talk about the Beverly Hills Club then.
Yes, like that's exactly because everybody's probably wondering. Like, I just clicked on this, the thumbnail and the title of it said Beverly Hills Club. Why am I listening to all of this?
Because it's exciting, guys. Get excited. Woo!
You gotta you can't just jump right into it.
Yeah. Plus, if they're clicking on this, they've already listened to the show. They knew what they were getting into.
And if they don't, surprise.
Hey, surprise.
This is what we do. We're scatterbrained.
Right. This is the Kentucky X-Files. We talk about unexplained stuff.
So, we're talking about the 1977 Beverly Hills. What's it? How's it? Supper Club. I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember how you said it. Yeah, the Supper Club fire.
Yes.
So, this is something that Denny was wanting to.
I really did
talk about.
And it's it's a huge lore, but my point of views all come from hearsay. I know, like, Josh has more details, you have more details, and I'll throw you guys what I've found out along the way. I have
a couple things that I would like to throw out. If you guys don't have any, like, you really don't have nothing to really say right now, but
can I set the stage? Actually, I think I'd like to set the stage if possible.
Fuck yeah.
You can. I just feel like everybody else has probably done a lot more research than I did, and you guys are going to just take it from me. So go.
I'm just going to clarify.
Let you know, you guys probably have more info than I do.
No. See, what I'm doing is I'm setting the stage because for those of you that are listening that aren't from the area, the Beverly Hills Supper Club was in Newport, Kentucky. So the name is kind of misleading.
I wanted
that's kind of what I wanted to start out with is where it was, so that people don't think we're talking about someplace over in California.
I want to throw this out there when you because you're saying this because I thought it was funny. There's a huge age gap between. I don't want to be mean. Sorry, guys, but you guys are 10 years older than me, so you guys probably heard about this. A little bit as growing up, you probably heard about it.
Oh, it was fresh, dude.
Yeah, it was fresh for you guys, but me, I didn't know about it. When you guys were talking about this Beverly Hills fire, I thought it was literally in Beverly Hills.
That's why I wanted to start this up.
So I'm glad that you're throwing you're giving context to this because I'm glad that you did because dude, when I was looking this up, I was like, why is it not coming up? It kept coming up Beverly Hills Fire Department. I was like, okay,
why does he want to talk about this?
Why does he want to talk about this? But okay, sorry, continue.
So in Newport, Kentucky, or Southgate, Kentucky, rather. The Beverly Hills Supper Club was a large entertainment venue, for lack of a better term. You could get food there. There was live music. There was different rooms where different events would occur.
Yeah, don't they have national acts there too?
Oh man.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was like your typical music venue too.
Yeah.
So it was very fancy, too. It was a very fancy club.
Right. Well, and to back up a little bit, Newport, Kentucky, and that area, if people don't know this, is the predecessor to Las Vegas. That's when they ran gambling and everything out of Newport, that's when Las Vegas started booming. So like Marilyn Monroe, Duke Ellington, these prominent people back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s were in Newport and Southgate, coming to these clubs and venues. It's not like it is today where you'd have to go to like Cincinnati at a major building, the big like Riverbend type thing. This drew in national acts.
It was the place. I mean,
yeah.
From what I got from just my grandparents growing up and my parents, it was. I mean, this place was a huge deal.
Yeah,
and it was notorious. Okay, you guys know who Jeff Ruby is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jeff Ruby, he's like a major restaurant owner all throughout Cincinnati, right? Like these are, you know those restaurants you go in and it's like, the dinner is like your paycheck.
Right.
Okay, so that's Jeff Ruby's.
Yeah,
it's like
you're talking $180 to $500 a plate.
Yeah. Okay. That dude was literally front row watching the comedians the night of the fire, and he wasn't even like in the business yet.
Well, there was a singer there that night too, wasn't there?
Yeah,
I believe so.
John
Davison.
Yeah, John Davison.
Yeah.
Well, like, do you guys have anything else? Because I have like some of the context of like how that night started and stuff. So I didn't know if you guys had any more.
Let's just say, let's go ahead and put it right out there. On May 28th, 1977, during the Memorial Holiday weekend, a fire broke out at the Beverly Hill Supper Club, and it was tragic. It was terrible. 165 people died. 200 were injured. It was a big tragic event, and I think that's why me and Denny know more about it, because it was still fresh in everybody's minds when we were little kids.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I guess how long ago was that now? This is probably
1977.
45 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean,
yeah,
it's one of those things where the reason it was so fresh for me recently, the reason I even brought it up to you guys, like, hey, do you guys want to talk about this, was as I was delivering all throughout Covington and Newport over the last couple of weeks, I kept seeing pictures, like newspaper clippings and pictures on bar walls and such, and I kept striking up conversations about it because I was really interested, right? And a lot of these people were either there or knew somebody who was. And some of the stuff that they told me, I'd never heard before. I mean, I'd heard rumors and I'd heard things like that. And this guy, I don't know, if I should bring his name into it or whatever, but he's a pretty decent, pretty well-known bar owner down in Newport. There's 3 bars on a street, and he owns all of them, right? And he literally tells me that he saw a police officer chaining the doors shut during the fire.
Dang.
Around 9:15.
Really?
Yeah. And if you guys are caught up on this, then, I mean, the fire department was called at 1 after 9. You know what I mean?
Right.
The first time they smelled smoke and heat in the first floor was at almost exactly 9 o'clock. By 9:01, the fire department was called. And this guy claims that he saw the doors being chained closed. One set of doors with a pretty good sized group of people in there, chained closed around 9:15.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting to me, because I'm kind of one of those where I'm like, okay, why was that happening?
Mm-hmm.
Why was it happening so fast? You know what I mean? Like, why was there a police officer doing that at 9:15? What was his purpose in that? Right, if that's the case. And then some other speculations come. And I know, like I said, we won't get into the details. We already talked about that. But especially like family name details, but there was a big rumor that the place was propositioned for a purchase, and the owner refused, and the fire happened shortly after that.
Right. And to put it in perspective, too, the supper club wasn't just a big deal here. It was the biggest deal in the Midwest.
Yeah.
You know, it was an enormous place. Like, the revenue that we're talking, this place actually rivaled venues in New York and Los Angeles, you know? So that was something somebody wanted, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting to me because we haven't really seen a place that equals it since.
No.
I mean, in perspective, I realize, like, revenue is a lot higher now, inflation and everything. Bigger amounts of money are moving now. But in perspective, like, in relative to that time, I don't think we're seeing that kind of place now. I mean, it really was. It was the Beverly Hills Club. It was like it was snatched right out of Hollywood and just dropped here in Kentucky.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
But there was so much kind of like Josh was saying, like, gambling and like Newport. Like, if you go to Newport right now, you would not think that this used to be like, in a way, like Las Vegas. I wouldn't say more as extravagant back then, but like how, like, bars on every corner, like, dude, like, yeah, it was a big, like, it was a hopping place in those terms back then. And I've heard a lot of, like, speculations on, because they soon, like, a lot of people say that it could be like arson, because that same thing, like, because you said that the owner was propositioned to be bought, but they were even saying that there was other businesses that had random accidents around the same time, probably not in the same, maybe not the same year, but within the same time, like era.
Yeah.
And then this happened, and they were saying it was electrical fire. I want to, like, because I have, like, some context on, like, how, they said at the time before, like, because John Davison was supposed to perform that night, and he wasn't on yet. He was, like, there was the two comedians, I think, Tester and McDonald. Yeah. They were performing their act. So by that time, everybody was, like, and I don't think, like, around that time, I don't think, like, fire code, like, the capacity thing was a thing. If you actually see, but if you actually seen this, like, building, like, the area that they're in, I think it's called the cabaret room that they were in, was, dude, it, like, the tables were so close together, like you were sitting in somebody's lap on the other side. Like, dude, they were jammed packed in this this building.
Yeah, they actually got in trouble because of the capacity codes. There were 3 inspectors, city and fire inspectors, that were actually decommissioned from their position, and I believe they were charged over this.
Really?
Yes.
Dang. Probably because of how much money that thing brought in,
I would say somebody's pockets got lined.
Yeah.
Newport in the 1970s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a $100 bill gets you a lot more than a permit will.
Yeah. So, like, so the comedy show was going on, and then one of the bus boys started to see the smoke and started to, like, see it was coming from they said it started in the zebra room.
That's Walter Bailey.
Yeah, he went on stage and told them, and I saw a video of him actually on the, like, he was talking to reporters outside of when it happened, and said, like, he went on stage, like, I think it was him or one of the other bus boys that he was with, said that when he said that, they thought it was with part of the show. That's why they immediately didn't get up or any of that nature. By the time that they actually started seeing smoke and the lights cut out, that's when they actually knew something was up. They thought him getting up there was part of the show. They were laughing about it. So, like, that's what was very, like, concerning about it. It sucked that he was trying to... but it was because, somebody said it was because of how calm he was. He wasn't, like, freaking out. But I feel like that's, like, what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, like, tell them, like, hey, we're having an, like, issue. We need you to exit the building. Like, you don't want somebody to run up there and start, fire, like, you know?
Yeah, right.
So, like, but that was, like, one of the bad parts about that whole, like scenario. If they actually took the weight of what he was saying, it probably could have went a lot better. So, but I heard another thing. There was a guy, I think this was a busboy. I think the guy, his name is David Rock. He said that apparently, I can't remember what video it was on. It was I think it was out of I think he did a documentary with, or he did a book thing with this one. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was called Forbidden Fruit.
Oh, yeah. I saw that floating around when I was doing some research.
Yeah. And he was talking about the day of I think either the day of, the day before, he said that there was somebody in the zebra room or something, one of the rooms, and said that there was a contractor there. And they were working on something. And then apparently he said that to somebody else, and they said there was no one on the list, like saying that there wasn't supposed to be any work done. Plus, they said to him that they were working on an air conditioner, like a vent or something, and they said there was no vents or air conditioner in that room.
Oh, wow.
So that was
wasn't the zebra room the room that the people that left that room complaining that it was too hot in there?
Yes. That's where the smoke and heat was first noticed, was the zebra room, first floor.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Like, that was one big thing I noticed, especially coming from somebody that was actually there, saying that there was somebody there doing work that wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. So that was one thing that I don't know if you guys hear about that or.
See, I've heard. Okay, so I heard that it was aluminum wiring in the building, which
that
Gibbs
was
probably
what they
could
said before.
Tell us if that's accurate or not. And then I heard that they were trying to run some kind of like air conditioner or blower or fan or something off of. Okay, so it was a 240 volt, but they were running it to two 110 outlets.
Ooh.
And so I'm like, that sounds like a recipe for a fire to me, but
yeah,
I don't know, you know. So I don't know. Did they have aluminum wiring back then, Josh? Do you know?
Yeah. Aluminum wiring has been around for a long time, and it's actually got a bad rep because of that. You know.
Yeah.
Aluminum wiring came around after knob and tube and before Romex, or maybe around the same time as Romex. Romex is superior though. You can use aluminum wiring as long as it's, super heavy gauge and you're using it to transfer voltage, like to a sub panel or something like that. But you don't really want aluminum wiring in your walls for like receptacles and switches,
Yeah.
I do know that GE got sued and lost a lawsuit over this fire.
No kidding.
Yep.
Yeah,
Crazy,
I think there was
man.
like a bunch of settlements for about I think it was over $1 million, maybe more than that.
It was like 11 mil, I think.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It says here that Dean Martin was a blackjack dealer there.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
Dude, it literally, if the supper club hadn't burnt down, our lives would all be very different because, Vegas probably wouldn't exist.
No kidding. It would be here.
If it did, it wouldn't be as big of a deal because Newport would be Vegas.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Such an odd area, though.
Absolutely.
I guess you can say that now, living in this era with with that not being a thing. So, because like I said, going into Newport nowadays in those areas, I wouldn't say that this is like the place to be. Like it's.
Yeah, but if it was still there,
Yeah.
If it was still there, man, how much? I mean, imagine all the businesses that would have sprouted up just at the base of the hill.
Yeah.
Imagine that. That's it would be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I know that yours and mine music career for sure would probably be a little different.
Right?
Yeah. Because we were playing in the heyday of heavy metal,
Yeah. No kidding. Hashtag show us Rector. But yeah, anyway, I know we're running this around at the whatever time limit we're setting for this episode. But there's a whole other side to this that I want to get into, but probably the next episode. There's a whole paranormal lore around this thing too, which is super interesting, and I'd love to before we wrap this topic, I'd like to the next episode to go into that a little bit if you guys are interested in it.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
And I can actually give you
a little deeper.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I actually have a little bit of a story that has to do with this, that involved me and a buddy of mine from about 12 years ago, which was pretty wild. Maybe a little bit longer, actually. I don't know. My time might be off on this, but we one night went up and we started looking around the place, and I'll tell everybody about how that went and what we experienced. It was pretty interesting.
Nice. Yeah, now since it's been over, like I said, it's been over 40 years since this tragic event happened. Now apparently they are actually, I guess, building plans have been approved.
Yep.
Apparently they're going to be building something there on the area. There's a lot of people having mixed feelings about the whole thing.
Yep.
So
I've definitely heard a little bit about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what they're planning on doing there, but I just know, I've just heard that a lot of people have some mixed feelings about the whole thing.
A group out there called the Beverly Hill Survivors for Justice, which anybody listening can go check that out. They have a lot of information regarding their point of view, and they've even presented their evidence to Governor Bashir, about what they believe was evidence of arson, and basically alleging that the fire was deliberately set by the mafia in retaliation for the supper club's owners refusing to sell. So, I don't know. Take from that what you will. Definitely, I'll be looking into it more, and then it's just a fascinating piece of history and a tragedy, but it's wild.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers go out to all the people that were lost in that fire.
165 deaths.
Yep.
165 people lost their lives that night.
Mm-hmm.
But without further ado, guys, you want to wrap this up and let these folks get on with their week?
Absolutely.
All right, you guys out there, hey, everything you're doing, you're listening, you're supporting, keep doing it. You want to be a patron, you know what to do. Send us messages, send us your experiences, send us everything. Send us your address.
Nope, not that.
We'll show up at your house.
Do that. No, we will not. We will not. Nope. But if you want to be on the show and tell your story, you can always message us at encounters@kyxfiles.com.
Yep. Or the Facebook page.
Address, no address needed. No.
Send us your address.
Maybe email address.
That too. You can put your address in the email and
No, you don't have to do that.
Send us $1,000.
No, you don't have to do that either. Nope.
Okay. It was worth a try. You guys out there, take care of each other, man. We're all we got.
Yep.
See